Hello everyone, welcome to Anime Amigos, the only anime podcast that requires two introductions for whatever reason. I'm Calvin Atkinson, the Pokemon Punk.
I'm Reese, the Gundam Guru.
I'm Ren, the JoJo Genius.
I'm Marek, the Vanguard Vagrant, and welcome to the Anime Amigos, proof of the two intros. A podcast with raving reviews such as, these guys get paid for this? Are you kidding me? Stop mentioning that anime is 5 years old, and why, just why?
Meanwhile, no one wearing a shirt of an anime that's 30 years old, the Charles Counterattack.
I'm not wearing an anime shirt.
Yeah.
Sacrilege.
I mean, mine's 25 years old,
So,
but the manga's like, God, 40 years.
DBZ,
How old's yours?
a couple of years ago.
When did you beat Dragon Ball Z? Oh, no, that's the 2019. Sorry, no.
Yeah,
anime
it's
came
from
out.
Loot Crate, so it's really fading terribly.
That's fine.
Just like Luke Crate itself.
In case the thumbnail, the title, and all the merch on the table is not obvious, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh discussion today.
We're Konami's bitches.
It's time to discuss Yu-Gi-Oh!
Nice one. And we felt now was the time to do this one. We've obviously did that way back when the first time we did the Dark Side Dimensions review.
Yep, which I think was like episode 6 we did.
Yeah.
5. I think it was episode 5.
Episode
Now,
five.
consider-
I think that was my choice for my birthday one that year.
Okay.
It was a good choice. It was a good episode.
It was a good choice. Incidentally, now that we're like years off it, how do we feel about Dark Side Dimensions years
I
later?
still love it.
I thought it was really good.
I still think it's really great.
It has aged pretty well, just the rule set they use with Dimension Duels hasn't aged the best.
No.
We just how broken it is when you actually look at the rules.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Established.
basically,
Yeah, you can like pay life points to summon higher level monsters, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that basically the effect of that fear spell, Mausoleum of the Emperor?
Yes, but in this you can pay no life points and summon them out for free. They just have attack power, which means you can fusion, synchro, and seize for free, completely broken.
Ridiculous.
That is, and I thought rush duels were broken.
Yeah,
Good God!
you don't summon monsters for their attack and defense. You summon them for the
Not
effect.
Exactly.
Promotion for a mobile game.
Not to mention, Dark Side Dimensions is the only Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the only thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! That has where players have 8,000 life points.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, except that one gag on DBZ abridged with Perfect Cell.
We mean canon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh?
I don't think DBZ abridged is canon to fucking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, basically, with
so,
DBZ abridged,
actually.
they did the whole Cell game. You know, Cell says the
Yeah.
world's best come, so they have loads of other
Oh, yeah,
anime
of course, don't they?
I activate
Yeah.
I activate pot agreed, also banned.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing of brain control. That's banned.
Not anymore. It's come back.
Yeah.
It's like,
And what's then?
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't use Monster Reborn? Oh, it's been out for several years, but it's currently banned.
Which is now also back.
I actually have those ones.
Oh, back
They also had versus Deadpool versus Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not even 5 minutes and we're already off track.
Well,
you're-
it's still tangentially
And
related.
you're assuming we've ever had a track, really.
But, so, in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, my first experience with it was coming on Sky One. What about you guys?
Yeah, that's so with me, and also having one of the early structure decks.
My first experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was my dad forcing me to watch it because he wanted me to watch something more grown up.
I love that.
Yeah.
So and the first thing I actually watched was like I think one of the Battle City final episodes. It was the one like just when everyone's positions were decided, like Joey versus Marek, Yugi versus Kyber,
Oh yeah.
and I was just like, okay, I kind of want to watch more of this now.
Yeah, I can't remember if I watched the anime first, heard about it from school friends, or bought the deck, because I think my first one was the Yugi structure.
And you watched a lot of the first few volumes of the DVDs.
So-
My
First two DVDs I had.
my first structure deck I think was I think it was different. It was one with Dark Magician in it. It wasn't the Yugi one. I think it was Dark Emperor or something.
Well, that's been a few because the main first two were spellcasters versus warriors, and mine was the warriors one.
Oh, I went with the Spellcaster one.
Yeah, so the spellcaster one that was Dark Eradicator Warlock, I think.
That's it, Dark Eradicate Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were decks before the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kyber?
No,
Joey?
those were the first launch ones as starter decks. But these were the first structure decks were meant to be competitive.
Right. Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I had the Yugi one and my friend had the Joey one. And
Yeah.
I,
So it was Yugi, Kyber, Pegasus, Joey.
You just
The
knew the
first one.
person who had the Kyber one was the coolest one in the friendship group, though,
Yeah.
of course.
Which is funny because looking at the deck itself, it was actually the worst one.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, Yuki's was one of the best because it had Summon Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Which,
that's a way
I mean,
better
there's a
traps.
2500 attack monster for only one sacrifice.
Well, unless you're watching Duel's Kingdom, then it's no sacrifice, he just plays it.
Yeah,
and the cards are way more broken. Like, motherfucker, have you seen Call the Haunted in that?
Yeah.
and it's also like, it's one of those where you go, that's not how, it's like the way the crush card virus works.
Oh,
Like,
God,
it's
yeah.
not, I've played against that loads of times, it's not nearly that devastating if you...
Yeah, that fact only lasts for 3 turns.
Yeah.
So at this point, did the author have a concept of the actual rules of the game?
Because no, I don't think he really did. I think the rules only really came out when I think they decided to actually release a card game, which I think was around when Battle City was a thing.
Yeah, so that was originally with Upper Deck, if you remember.
It's also why the cards don't appear in their full form on the Western broadcast, because of the way you're not allowed to directly advertise products in kids' shows. That you can't advertise the direct product.
That's
in the
right,
kids'
because
show.
that's why all the cards are distorted.
Yeah, so the cards on the show are just the picture and then like the colour square underneath.
Meanwhile, in Japan, you got the full thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, in which case you did get the actual cards.
Yeah.
Because I had
Movie rules don't apply. Don't apply in movies.
I had a PS1 game which was Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. And that had
There's a
sys-
PS1 one.
there was a couple of PS1
Yep.
ones.
So that one, fun fact, came out before the anime, so
It
there were
did.
no rules.
Yeah, well, because at that point,
Yeah.
you could just select 2 cards in your hand to fuse them, and
Yeah.
you would fuse them into a random monster.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Yeah, and the most powerful cards in that was the
Oh, please tell me you can use the Mammoth Graveyard and Living Arrow trick.
no, it was actually a Red Eyes Fusion monster.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because it was just absolutely bizarre. It was really fun, but
Can I
yeah,
say
not
actually another
Yu-Gi-Oh!
thing? I think
No.
I think Red Eyes Black Dragon might be my favourite monster in the game
Yeah.
because it just feels like the plucky Echo Fighter for Blue Eyes White Dragon,
Red
but
Eyes-
is much cooler.
Red Eyes is my No, actually, I'll be honest. I think my favorite deck is Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, they're
Red
cool.
Eyes is definitely my second favorite. My favorite
Yeah.
card though, because I'm a bitch, is Dark Magician.
If I was to, but here's the thing: if I was to rank all the different seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I've seen them all now. In fact, rewatching a bunch of episodes for this was really good fun. Actually, it's actually held up remarkably better than a lot of people giving it credit for.
I remember I watched the first episode though, like not that long ago. I just thought, wow, this is really rushed.
Yeah.
It really rushes through. Like Yugi beats Kyber, Yugi won, Master Pegasus.
Yeah.
Like all in the span of 10 seconds.
So if I was to rank the arcs, I'd put the bottom. I'd put the Grand Championship arc.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Then I'd put Waking the Dragons. It's not bad, but it repeats a lot of stuff from previous arcs and doesn't do them quite as well.
I said before, I think Waking the Dragons is one of my favorites.
Then I'd put Duelist Kingdom because they haven't quite come into their own of what it's going to be, and that's going to be really controversial considering what I'm going to say next. Then I'd have the Ancient Egypt arc. It's very good and has the best overall duel in the series, but I chose to make it was too obvious to say it doesn't count for the list that we're doing.
Yeah.
But it also there's not a lot of structure to that series. It's like I don't understand what the rules of this new version, the ancient battles that Shadow Games are doing. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
So that was a bit annoying. Then I had the Noah arc in second.
Really?
Yeah.
That's controversial.
And I have the top. I have Battle City.
Yeah.
I think everyone's favorite is Battle City, though, let's be
Why did you
honest.
put Duelist Kingdom?
Fourth.
Okay.
It is it's a very good arc and thematically it works very well. But the fact they haven't quite established what the rules of the card game are means it's a bit all over the place.
Well,
I'll be honest. I think the only reason they got away with those rules was because of the virtual, was because of the holograms. Otherwise, that would just be way too confusing. Like with the Karibo and the multiply, for example, how it keeps coming out infinitely. You You just see like on the board, just you need a fucking Magic playing match.
Yeah, which is funny because that whole arc, the reason why the rules are like that is because it was inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, where if you could explain something logically, you were allowed to do it.
Oh, that's funny.
Something that the dub actually doesn't actually go into detail with, which the Japanese version dub does is how the field power bonus works, because they gain like I believe 30% extra attack depending on the terrain. Hence why the numbers seem completely random.
Mr. Pegasus, you're holding a tournament on this remote island with no infrastructure.
That appears to have desert, heavy forest,
volcano,
seaside.
You don't even have like any food stuff.
Isn't this basically a fire fest?
Yeah, they weren't actually playing Duel monsters. They were just eating magic mushrooms. That was the only food source available on the island.
Oh,
well, that explains why all the monsters are real.
Yeah, that's the holograms.
Oh, that explains the duel between Yuki and Bakura.
It explains all of the duels in Duelist Kingdom.
Explains all the duels in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Explains Pegasus' fucking deck.
I'm seeing 2 Yugis, 2 Bakuras. Why is Tristan a monkey?
So should we introduce the episode?
Well, yeah, let's do. I think since this was I want to end this on something positive, let's do our weakest duels.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with Reese. Reese, what is the weakest duel in Yu-Gi-Oh in your opinion?
So mine was the first round between Yugi and Rebecca, episodes 41 to 42.
Oh, I like that one.
Fuck, you beat mine! You stole mine, you bastards!
Okay, so do you have a backup, Fairly?
Yeah, I do.
Are you going to join in on this one?
I do actually have a backup. This is one I've seen mostly probably because this is one I've seen recently, but it's up there anyway. Taya versus Mai.
Taya versus Mai for you.
That
one.
So I only watched. So just to kind of preface, I only recently rewatched from Joey versus Marek to the end of Battle City in preparation because I'd never seen it before. So I've only got a short window plus the early part of Duelist Kingdom. I think Joey versus Kyber I was really kind of disappointed by.
I actually like that one.
It seemed like a
I want to point out that was my second choice for favourites.
Really?
It's one of my all-time favourites.
It seemed like a shoe-in for me.
The match on the beach? With the new Duelist?
Just after Kyber's beaten by Yugi.
Oh, okay.
If anything, I say the one in Duelist Kingdom between those two sucked.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Because Joey was just summoning random monsters and attacking Battle Ox, a monster that was clearly more powerful.
Yeah.
Like I was just thinking, you do know defense mode exists, right?
You know how to do this. You have beaten top duelists.
And as a matter of fact, that first duel disc sucks. Like you can only hold 4 cards in your hand. You can only summon 1 monster.
Yep.
No, my
You expected to beat Pegasus with that?
No, my weakest is Joey versus Siegfried.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Grand Championship, and I have a very good reason for that one. Let's start with we'll start with
Why don't we just go in intro order?
Go in intro order, so we'll start with yours. Now, I like Yugi versus Rebecca for the thematic reasons, but
but it's that whole reason it completely doesn't work. Because Yugi decides to fully surrender, even though he's going to win, he inadvertently makes her the king of games.
We'll ignore that, it's not an official match.
Oh no, it is an official match, because it's officially sanctioned. So it does count. But also, she uses actual meta cards in her strategy, and completely fails. Because all the cards she uses have ended up on the ban list.
Yeah, like, what about Shadow Ghoul? Because I use that all the time in the games.
that was trash. But all the cards, so you got Wizard of Black Forest,
it gets more powerful.
Sangan.
It gets more powerful the more things go in the graveyard. Surely that
makes
makes
but
sense.
it's a 1 tribute monster. Starts at 16k. It gets 100 extra attacks. So it's 17k on 1 tribute. Just use Summon Skull.
Cal, just accept that you don't know as much about Yu-Gi-Oh as these.
Especially because I know who's played it professionally.
The reason why I really don't like that duel is because you expect me to believe that they are playing the exact same cards
as parents.
That Yuki's grandfather and Arthur played like 20 years before.
Yeah, in the exact same order.
In the exact same order. Yuki surrendered at the exact same time as well. Did Solomon just not go, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Yugi loves this like cyclic storytelling thing as well, doesn't it? Because it's the same with Kyber and same with Seto Kyber and Yugi, right?
Yeah. So then it's a reenactment of the Pharaoh and Priest Seto.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
you expect me to... You say that Yugi and I are destined to do for all each other for all eternity? Yes, best destiny ever.
Is that a bridge line?
Yeah.
Incidentally, on that one, I did like the conclusion of that whole thing, though. I thought the conclusion worked quite well.
It also led to there being a fucking love triangle.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Which I like to know, people completely get the meaning of love triangle wrong. Because a love triangle implies that everyone is in love with each other.
Yeah. Yugi's not in the
It's not a triangle, it's two lines.
He does like in the
Like,
manga.
like Taya.
In the manga, he likes Taya. It's
Yeah.
confirmed, but I don't know if the anime ever
In
confirmed.
the abridged, he likes Taya. There was this Taya likes the Pharaoh, not him.
Which is the same in the anime. Yugi has a crush on Taya, but Taya is in love with the Pharaoh, not Yugi.
Yugi, you little shit! I'm going to and then I'll so then you'll have to sideways.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
think
in all fairness, that scene in the anime was also really funny. Like, Yuki just randomly changes and goes, Yuki, this isn't a duel!
the thing for me though about that about the love triangle. One, Taya, how do you feel? Taya, you really should not feel romantically threatened by someone half your age. That goes into a million things right there. And two, that got even worse when they added another person in the mix, that Chun-Li knockoff in the Grand Championship arc.
Did she really count though? She was there for an arc, for a single arc.
I never need to hear someone call him Yuki Poo ever again.
So who was Rebecca anyway? Remember
She's the granddaughter of one of Solomon's archaeologist friends.
Okay.
Who and he presented a load of theories about the Shadow Games and reality, and he got laughed out of.
He was essentially the one that gave Solomon the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh,
Remember how he said it was given to him by a dear friend?
Yeah.
And Rebecca shows back up after the end of Duelist Kingdom, wanting it back.
Ah, right.
And so she's then pissed when she found out it was torn in half by Kyber.
Fair enough.
And then blames Solomon and Yugi for not protecting the cards.
Well, as opposed to Kyber.
Why weren't you using sleeves? He couldn't have ripped it then.
No, yeah, you could.
Goddamn dragon shields!
All of you are playing these busted cards and fucking on sleeves.
Wait a minute, why are we using sleeves? These cards are scuffed to hell. That's what helps me cheat.
Yeah, which is funny because that's actually a plot point later on with Raphael awakening the dragon arc. All his cards are scuffed to hell because he's had them since he was a kid.
But yeah,
and they somehow survived a shipwreck.
Yeah, you know how Kyber's got his big briefcase full of decks? Instead it's just me with like pockets full of elastic bands wrapped around them.
Oh god, the elastic bands, I remember that.
That was me in primary school.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh no, you know what? That was all my cards were scuffed to hell in primary high
I've
school.
bought collections from people.
The main reason being though because I had the GX dual disc and I used that a lot.
Oh yeah.
So that scuffed them.
Yeah, because I was so poorly made.
That's the thing about the dual disc. They sold them too late. The time we all wanted them, it was too late
I
to get
used
them.
to have the first one, the light blue and the
Yeah.
I still want the Orichalcos one. That looks really cool.
I stand by the original one for Battle City is the best design they ever got. I think they all went downhill after that point.
The worst one's in Zexal.
Oh,
You expect me because it goes like that, then like that.
Yeah.
It did fucking hurt. Like you had to be careful with those things. To be fair.
Yeah. If you make me feel nostalgic for the GX ones, then you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean they kept the GX ones in 5Ds.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's my thought process on this one. I would say, out of you obviously lowered it. I would give it. So I'd say the people who didn't pick it rank it. Give it a rank out of 10. So I'd say Rebecca versus Yugi. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Elliot, obviously you're going to give it something low.
I'd give it a 3.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, so I don't know. Sounds interesting, kind of.
It's
executed.
I think it was a decent epilogue to Duelist Kingdom, which I think he needed that lighter moment after such.
No, technically the epilogue was a Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Oh
with
fucking hell!
Devlin.
Dungeon Dice Monsters was severely underrated. I got the Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance game of that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't even know
that.
they. I didn't even know they had a Game Boy Advance game.
They also did a limited physical release as well.
They tried. They
Yeah, and
really
that failed.
tried. It didn't work.
No.
And it's a shame because the game's well thought out.
Yeah.
Incidentally, another one I was also considering for my weakest, it didn't make the list, was Tristan and Serenity and Duke versus Nesbit.
I actually kind of like that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
mostly because again, it exposes Tristan for being a liar, and it kind of gives Serenity.
Why is Tristan a liar?
Because
He is basically bragging to Serenity, saying, "Oh, I was the person who taught Joey how to duel."
Yeah.
Things like that, and like so when they actually got into a duel, she's just like, "Tristan don't know what to do." Just like, yeah.
Yeah, Tristan has a massive crush on Serenity.
Yeah.
And that leads to a love triangle with those two and Duke Devlin.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Love
I think
triangle,
it's,
love
character.
two lines.
Yeah.
Love crossroads, you might say.
Yeah.
The I did
Love stilts.
which also leads to Tristan becoming a robot monkey.
Yep.
Oh yeah, doesn't he have
The
body
virtual
shots?
world arc was wild.
Yeah, so basically,
And
Tristan dies, gets taken out of his body. The big five all get implanted into Tristan to puppet him around like Five Nights at
The
Freddy's.
big five.
Yeah, those are those executives that were trying to sell Kyber Corp to Pegasus,
Yeah.
and underneath Kyber's back after he didn't deliver what he promised after they helped him take over Kyber Corp from his stepfather.
So is this what it's like between Elon Musk and
Jeff Bezos? Yeah.
Is this
Pretty much, yeah.
the level that they go to?
Yeah.
Okay, in this scenario, which are Pegasus and Kyber? Who's Bezos and who's Musk?
Don't know, yeah.
Pegasus is Bezos.
Elon boy.
Do you even have to question that?
I was about to say, Elon Musk is Kyber in real life.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna say Siegfried is Zuckerberg.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the vlog started, but this is how fucking EA got bought out by Amazon. It's
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos inhabiting the body of
I want
EA,
to stress it's not official
Okay,
yet.
okay.
So for legal
Yes.
reasons, EA has not at the time of recording. EA has not bought Amazon, but they probably have.
Yeah.
Amazon has not bought EA.
Just
Yeah, I was about to say EA buying Amazon.
That'd be weird.
Uno reverse card.
You fell into my trap, Bezos.
Activate magic cylinder.
Fell into my trap. Draw 4, bitch. Mirror force.
Let's go with your one, Elliot. Now,
Taya versus my.
why do you not like this one?
Friendship speech galore.
Oh yeah, that's the problem.
I've already mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Taya is one of my least favorite characters in Yu-Gi-Oh, just because of her friendship speeches.
Oh god, it was funny in Pyramid of Light, but that's about it.
No, it was funny in the bridge because they just took the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and also, Taya's not a good duelist in that one.
No.
No, I mean,
And Mai just gives up randomly. I just thought, this duel is pointless.
Well, yeah.
Mai was gonna give Yugi the star chips anyway.
yeah, but they needed something to smack him out of his nonsense.
She has no personality traits beyond friendship.
Again, they give her one in the fucking manga.
Do they?
They took it out along with the other female friend in the group. They took out.
Yeah.
What?
That was in season 0 though.
Season 0, they brought her in, but they left her out of Duelist Monsters.
I actually learned what happened to her in GX. She fucking dies. She apparently when it comes to like I think in season 3, I'm gonna say there was like a list of casualties. She was on it.
Oh no, that's the final season that was never done.
Oh, final season.
So basically, the main villain called Darkness kills everyone in the world except him and Jaden at the very end.
What? Wow. Oh
Yeah.
yes, no, I remember having heard about
They reverse it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone got better.
Um,
I
Okay.
feel better.
Is this the same Darkness from Shadow the Hedgehog?
no, that's Black. That's
Sorry.
Black Doom.
That's it, Black Doom,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's the same darkness from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah.
I've just finished 2. I'm on a break.
Game theory. All the heartless are just the cast from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
That would actually make a
That would
weird
be
amount
kinda
of
cool.
sense.
I like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh! World in Kingdom Hearts 4 when?
It does. I will admit, the Taya versus Mai match does feel a bit like complete filler. If anything, she looked a lot stronger in Taya versus Kronk,
Yeah.
which
Kronk.
Yeah, he's
Right, the Yu-Gi-Oh deck. The Yu-Gi-Oh deck from Cusco. The Yu-Gi-Oh deck built specifically for Cusco.
Yeah, that one was actually good.
Yes, that Yu-Gi-Oh deck!
Yeah, that one was, you can definitely tell they were kind of trying to ship Yugi with Teo hard in that one, mostly because her deck master was the Dark Magician girl.
Oh.
And Krunk comes because all the big five have all got their minds digitized after the end of that stupid end of Duelist Kingdom thing they did, and so they all appear as their commanders essentially.
Yeah.
So he turns up as Nightmare Penguin.
Yeah.
So and he has a penguin themed deck.
I have a vague recollection of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then Nesbit was the robot commander.
Right.
What's his name was Jinzo.
Which one was Judgman?
Nectar
was
Which one was
Johnson was Judgeman.
Yes.
And Gansley was Deep Sea Warrior.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I actually, I'm one of the few Yu-Gi-Oh fans who remembers all the names of the big five.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, Cal, is that most people don't care.
The reason why is because most people don't like that filler arc. They're just like, just get to the Battle City Finals already!
Yeah.
Incidentally, if you were to, there's not much to the Taya versus Migel. There's surprisingly few moves in it.
That's pretty much why. When Taya's not like struggling while Mai's destroying her with a 1300 attack monster, all she's saying is just friendship this, friendship that. Yugi is my friend and I love him.
Can we talk
Suddenly
about...
Taya is Toad from Super Mario Brothers.
Hello!
Tell us more about Mai's perspective then, because I always thought she was like a good duelist.
She is, but
she has a higher loss to win rate.
Really?
Yeah, because in the original series it's only Taya who has 100% win rate.
Really?
Yeah.
and also in Waking Dragons, Mai beats Pegasus.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Although,
well, in all fairness, in Waking the Dragons, that's when she's actually good.
We need a tier list here.
She also beats.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I think Mai only wins one duel.
Really?
Actually, no, two technically. She beat Joey in the Orichalcos, but that's just because he ran out of breath. He got tired. That was actually a good duel. That was a really good duel.
She also beat out the movie star that's horny for her in Battle City.
Yeah, that's the only one we see her win.
No, because in the original subversion, there's an epilogue on the credits, and her and the Chun-Li ripoff fight the Paradox Brothers.
Paradox Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, those two.
You face the brothers!
Oh,
Paradox!
And Docs. With Gate Guardian.
Yes,
Labyrinth.
I legit love that duel. It's like it's kind of dumb, but I think it's great. Just because the Paradox Brothers are awesome.
Yeah. That's my third favourite duel in Duelist Kingdom. Since the other didn't make the list, so the other two were Yugi and Joey, and Joey versus Bandit Keith.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, the Pegasus one is
It's too long.
Yeah.
They should have cut that down by like 2 episodes.
Yeah. Because it's basically Goku versus Frieza, but for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Except I think Goku versus Frieza was like 19 episodes.
It felt like
4 hours is
really
I've watched it from start to finish. It's 4.5 hours.
4 hours.
Do you know what's weird though?
That's an Angry Joe reference for you.
Do you know what I found amazing though? I actually preferred the Kai version where they cut it down. I think I like the whole fact they took so long. It felt like they were building and building and building and building.
If I remember though, it's in the manga like 20 chapters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So they really majorly extended it out.
20 chapters.
In Dragon Ball Z.
Although it led to one of my favourite lines of the abridged. My butt is flaming. I miss Sarbon. I think my favourite is still Vegeta punching out. Yeah, I'm going so fast. All he can do is dodge. God, Sarbon's dead. Dodoria's dead. The Ginyus are dead. This is one giant mess. It's just like that jockstrap incident, except now I don't have Ginyu to dig the holes.
And that's still one of my favourite lines from that is, I need an adult. I need an adult. I am an adult. No, you're not.
My favourite, the next.
But Taya versus Mai.
So we've done
not fun.
Shall we score, Reese?
I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10 just because it's brief.
4 out of 10 as well. It's too short. It's too short, and it's kind of pointless.
Nah, 2 out of 10.
No, but
2 out of 10.
That's the reason why it gets a 4 from me. If it was any longer, then it goes down as like a 3.
No, 2. Yeah, again, 2 out of 10.
And Taya looked a lot stronger in against Krunk.
Yeah.
I've got to agree, it doesn't sound that great to be honest, but that's my only input.
Again, I can't believe he's called Crunk.
Yeah.
And he's not voiced by Patrick Warburton.
Oh.
Shuffle the deck, Crunk.
Wrong deck!
Why do we even have that deck? Don't tell me you're about to take away all my life points. Yep. With that Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician combo?
Most likely.
Bring it on.
One of my favorite bits in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, just this is completely off topic, but it's in the Orichalcos arc where it's Yugi versus Raphael, just like, wait, what are you doing? Playing the game? What? No, we don't do that. What are you talking about? Look, here's what happens. We say some quippy lines, one of us goes on about friendship, and then in the end I win. That's...
So, Ren, your pick was Joey versus Kyber.
Yes.
I like that one.
Now, I will
That's
say,
fair.
this gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
This is like a good 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
personally also go with a 7.
Fair enough. I mean, I can only give you my obviously flawed logic.
If
in
I'm
that.
going by the episode you went with, if I went with those ones, the one I'd put at the bottom would be the 4-way match between to decide the semi-finals. It's fucking pointless.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. But because maybe it was because it sounds like the original series had just a lot of filler and a lot of stuff in there anyway. I don't know if this was in the original source material, but what it felt like was they just wanted to prolong it, and they needed something for Kyber and Joey to do, and also they needed to resolve some stuff because Taya was possessed at the time or something like that.
It's also the fact.
Marek.
It's also a thing
The
that.
good Marek.
Now this is something I'm going to touch on in my one, but. It was almost after Duelist Kingdom, the writers struggled to find a purpose for Joey. They had to They really felt. I really felt this was Waking the Dragons, where Mai is really his only motivation for the entire fucking arc.
It felt like a really shit moment for Joey because because he'd just come away from having lost to Marek, Eva Marek. And then he just woke up and he was like, right, Kyber's just lost to Yugi, I'm going to challenge him because why not? And then Kyber beats him. For me, it would have been way better if Joey beat Kyber, because Kyber's already taken the one loss. Why not make him fall further into the maximum motivation?
I'm going to apply wrestling logic to this, which is, one, I think Kyber needed his win back after that point. He needed to prove he didn't need Obelisk the Tormentor to be a top duelist.
Yeah.
And number 2 on that one, Joey looked so strong against Marek. He didn't need that win. And the point is, compared to all the other matches, the other things we've seen between him and Kyber, he did very well in that match. He looked very strong.
He did. Yeah. So I mean, my issue isn't so much with the actual duel. I think it's with the narrative purpose of it, because either you deliver Kyber a win, in which case he kind of recovers some of his lost pride, which he lost against Yugi, but I feel like he needed to lose his prize there anyway, his pride.
Yeah, because it's obviously the battle for bronze, so the stakes aren't as high.
Yeah, exactly. It's also just a casual match.
Also,
and for Joey, it just makes him lose work because he loses twice.
There's no problem with having just a casual match.
No.
Not every match in Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs to mean something.
Yeah, I agree. It just felt like a time filler, and it felt like it wasn't doing much for Joey or Kyber in terms of their character arcs.
I mean, I'll be honest. For
it
me,
felt like it negated both.
I'll be honest. For me, the worst duel in the Battle City arc was the one between Yugi and whoever and
Strings.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, he's the mime or Slifer.
No, not him.
Oh, not him.
The one who tried to beat up Taya when she played DDR.
Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny Kicks.
Johnny Kicks.
That's
it.
his name.
What?
What a name!
But he has my
because Yuki beat his monster, then he learned that he was Yukimoto and gave up. Because there's no way I'm beating you. I'm out of here.
But he has one of my favourite monsters in the entire game, Heavy Metal King,
Oh,
yeah.
nice! Love that.
which he creates by doing
That episode does have one of my favorite lines in the bridge. Hey, he's assaulting that woman. Let's just stand here and watch.
Yeah, but so he has to combine Musician King with Metal Morph, and he becomes Heavy Metal King.
Love that.
Which
is not how the trap card works.
It's not how that works, but it's something like you have
He
to...
reminds you about Mammoth Graveyard and Living Arrow. I think nothing gets worse than that.
I think in the game you have to still equip Metal Morph to Musician King, and then you have to tribute it to create the fusion monster.
Yeah.
It's some weird combination of things you have to do.
So when you try to adapt those cards with Metamorph, they just release them as standalone monsters like a Red Eyes Metal Dragon.
Yeah, where they gave Metal Morph a very weird name in that. Like, I think Morphin Metal.
Oh no, Metamorph keeps its own name.
Morbid Metal.
But the whole thing is like Rise Metal Dragon is it has the only effect it has is can only be summoned by the effect of Metal Morph on the field. So if it's in your hand, you can't even tribute it out. It's just stuck there.
I would really hate if Morbius got a sequel because of that one fucking line.
It's not getting a sequel.
It's not. I know it's not, but I'd hate it if that was the case. So
Well, no, I'd love it. Morbius 2 is Morbin time.
I hate Morbius. It's a really bad movie.
Yeah.
So I have not seen that.
It's bad.
People make films for meme content and actually expect it to be profitable, which is kind of the problem we're in.
No, they brought it back to cinema because of meme.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the actual financial power
I
memes
mean,
have nowadays.
when Rise of Gru was
that's
the
it, yeah.
was the bigger film for its meme status.
I mean, on the plus side.
Also, while we're on that note, which cinema chain was it that banned little kids showing up in suits because of that meme?
It was
I think
just,
it was Odeon.
it was just people wearing suits.
I think it was just films and jumps.
Yeah, but there was a couple of kids that did it, and they got turned away because of it. So fuck you, cinema.
Apparently, it was because a lot of them were being very disruptive.
Yeah,
They were screaming, they were clapping, they were just.
Yeah, they're kids in cinemas. They do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, going to see. Well, you said it was Frozen 2 was just.
Frozen 2, one of the worst. Well, I got the review job for Frozen 2 because there was no one else for it.
At the same, you're the only one who runs a film society.
Yeah, so it was the biggest film coming out. I knew I had to review it, and that was one of the worst cinema going experiences I've ever had. I think it's up there with, and I've been to quite a few.
You saw the Emoji Movie
I know, but
Opening night.
in cinema
yeah, I
3
did.
times.
No, once. That was it. Never again.
on the same day.
Though the Emoji Movie's definitely up there. That was up there.
But weirdly, Hereditary had an awful audience.
That had you went with me to that one. That had an awful audience.
No, the worst one I think I had was when I went to Black Panther because there was just a couple who for the first 20 minutes just would not stop talking, and someone just looked at them and just went, "Excuse me, people are trying to watch a film." I just went, "Thank you, I would have done that in a minute if you hadn't."
You told. Was it a couple?
Yeah.
Okay, I think there was some other extracurricular activity involved, maybe.
Yeah, I was just tempted to go to them and just go, could you kindly shut the fuck up?
So yeah, my reasons aren't so much it was a bad duel. There were good
I
parts
think
to it.
I think if you'd seen more, you might have.
Possibly, maybe if I'd had a wider perspective of Battle City. Then
So I would say with Ren's choices, take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I'm a very casual viewer, I haven't seen.
Honestly, Battle City, I loved all of Joey's duels. Honestly, I think out of all the decks in that series, his is my favourite. I just love Little Wing Guard, Rocket Warrior. Those are all just really cool cards.
Yeah, especially because its whole gimmick is luck cards with dice.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when you look at his win-loss record overall, it's 50%, which ties into his gimmick.
Wow.
I think it's also because of Time Wizard in Duelist Kingdom as well.
Yeah.
Because that was very much on luck.
Yeah, which is also a dick move by Yugi because he sided in Dark Sage into his deck because he's the one who gave Joey Time Wizard.
What's Dark Sage do?
So Dark Sage is if Dark Magician survives the effect of Time Wizard, you can summon him out of the deck and you burn the opponent for every spell card.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's really ridiculously overpowered.
That's
Yeah,
really
which is a dick move because everyone says, well, he's the one who gave Joey Time Wizard,
That's
so he
why
then
he
sides
gave-
it in.
that's why, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's a bit of a hit on him as well, on him himself as well, because he lost that card when he gave Joey the Time Wizard. It's just because he fought Joey that happened.
What a specific card as well.
Yeah.
What a niche use.
Yeah.
It's like it. Yeah.
I do. So going to my one.
Yes.
I did Joey versus Siegfried, and I to me, it's got all the problems that Ren outlined with the Joey. All the reasons for Ren aligned for Joey versus Stowe for me, but it's on cocaine because one, you made Joey look really strong in the last one by having him beat his former teacher in a very decisive way. You've given him this arc about wanting respect, and I think they should have. And this is his last duel in the series. And fucking hell, you couldn't have him go out on not necessarily go out on a win, but have him go out looking strong and a good triumphant moment, because that's felt like what the character deserved. And then they just have him going out looking like a chump.
Yeah.
And it's not even, is it? One, Siegfried is a really bad villain.
Yeah.
Like in every sense of the word, Siegfried is just the worst kind of villain.
He's the most forgettable one.
Yeah, he's just Pegasus with a... Well, for one thing, he looks like Pegasus cosplaying as the JoJo Part 5 villain.
Diavolo.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's Pegasus dressed up as Diabolo.
I'm gonna Google this.
But Calvin, we see him slightly nude at one point.
Yeah.
Which is totally worth it.
Hell yeah.
He flashes his riches even though his company's going broke, which makes no fucking sense. He's another person from Kyber's past, which, we hadn't seen enough of them by that point.
He fully is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I like his design.
Yeah, I've seen
So
it.
fabulous.
Pegasus
Yeah.
strip-off.
Yeah.
Also, he's not even the final boss of that season.
No.
They just have a Leon who's disguising himself as a completely separate person, even though they're brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're not as if they did a good job disguising that they're brothers. And that's the thing. He's not even the final boss. Joey loses to him, and his cards are rubbish. I hate the Valkyrie cards.
Yeah, which is funny because they took the longest to come out because they only came out about 5 years ago, and they're all hot garbage. No one uses them ever because they're all terrible.
Yeah.
Kyber should have
It's so
just
funny.
when they have the Kyber versus Siegfried duel. Kyber should have gone seriously, seriously.
Yeah.
You coming to
You
make
be Wheeler.
I know.
God, even you would lose to him.
Seriously, Joey should have won that. It's not as if I think Joey needed to look strong on the way out, and and again it goes to my whole point. As soon as his sister he saved his sister's sight.
Yeah.
He didn't. They struggled to kind of give him a motivation.
Yeah.
They sort of succeed in Battle City, but everything after that just feels forced.
Well, in Battle City, I think the main thing he's wanting to do is help Yugi.
Yeah. Which he does do by beating a lot of Yugi's old villains from Duelist Kingdom.
Yeah, which was a good arc for him because it proved he was on a level with Yugi. He could beat Weevil. He could beat.
Well, and Esperoba.
Yeah.
Esperoba was the introduced for it, and he beat Mako Tsunami.
So it's from Esperoba that I got hit my favourite card of his, or one of them. But
Okay, now you guys know quite a bit more about me compared to like Dub v Sub. Was Mako's father completely dead in the Sub version, and they just made up the whole lifeboat missing for the Dub? Or...
It has been a while, but normally parents do stay dead in the Sub.
Yeah, because that's which makes sense. Well, what is because Mako's motivation is he wants to buy a properly good boat so he can search the seas for his father. In the case of if he's still at sea, he's fucking dead. You can't survive out at sea that long. It's why.
Yeah, you've seen Waterworld. You know that's not true.
You've seen Castaway. Wilson.
Good point.
Well, I mean, you know what your 4 kids are like. Death doesn't exist. We can't tell kids that death exists.
Yeah.
Like for example, with the last duel we see with Bones versus Bakura in Battle City, that they literally die in that one.
Yeah.
Bakura legit kills them.
No, it's the whole thing of 4K censorship because in the original there's no such thing as a Shadow Realm. Everyone just dies.
Yeah.
What? And in One Piece.
And yet now, Shadow Realm is incredibly iconic.
And in One Piece, all of the Marines are just pointing rather than holding guns.
Which is what happens
and
as well.
And also Luffy fights using his sweat rather than his blood against Crocodile. Interestingly.
But that same thing happened in Duelist Kingdom, where Pegasus' goons come for Kyber, and they airbrush out the gun, so they're just pointing at him.
Yeah.
So Kyber jumps out the window, and all they're doing is pointing at him.
Have you seen?
Pegasus were like a word.
Yeah.
Thank God 4 kids went bankrupt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you shared with us a while ago some of the stuff that the CEO said.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird because we kind of have the modern version of their censorship now with the Chinese broadcasts of things like Demon Slayer and Spy X Family. I mean, you've seen the Demon Slayer one. Also, the people that were praising that censorship, fuck you.
Yeah.
For a start.
What is the point of praising? Why praise it? Like, there's no.
You are
point.
praising censorship against a creator's intent. Well, if you can dislike the creator's intent all you want, but don't praise people censoring that intent. Just don't watch it.
Yep.
Sorry, that's my attitude on it.
It's
as long as it's nothing
so
illegal, that's my attitude.
Yeah.
Also, while we're on the subject on that one.
Hey, do me a favor. Go to the Don's 50 Shades of Grey review and see the bit where he spends spends like 20 seconds putting the middle finger and dancing. That's basically
Also,
for
while
you.
we're on the
Fuck you.
and then Spy X Fam, we're going to make a lot of enemies with that one.
Censor in that one?
What was Spy X Family?
Yeah.
Oh, the blood on Yor when she comes back.
Oh yeah, it
Oh
looks
no,
like
it's worse.
Yeah.
it
It's worse.
looks like semen.
Oh,
They made it turn it white and it's
like you know the bit where she's young and she comes in covered in blood.
Oh,
You can probably guess.
Yeah.
oh dear.
You've made things
worse. Okay, but that's the thing that's kind of my problem. It's just the fact Joey is is a really well written character actually most of the time. Even in the 4Kids dub, I think he's well written.
Yeah.
Because because you root for him in a way that I don't think any of the other underdog characters in Yu-Gi-Oh's history you've ever done. Like they tried to repeat with Joey with Cyrus, and it didn't work.
Failed, no.
Because again, they never gave because again with Joey they knew to give him a few decisive wins.
Yeah.
With Cyrus, they never gave him a decisive win. He doesn't even beat his brother.
I mean, with Cyrus, they kind of give up on that later season. See, Cyrus becomes Obelisk Blue.
It's like, how the fuck did this idiot become an Obelisk Blue?
Yeah,
He
and then
doesn't even use Power Bond for fuck's sake.
yeah, he just inherits his brother's deck and completely abandons his old one.
Which isn't.
I like the Roid cards though.
Yeah, the Machine Roid and Train Roid
Yeah, they're
and
cool.
Psych Roid, they were all really good.
Which is funny because all of them were a giant reference to Gao, one of my favourite anime.
Which incidentally, I actually, you know that PSP game where you could pick one of the GX people as your partner?
Oh, Tag Force.
I picked Cyrus for my one. I actually managed to create quite a good synergy between our decks because of the way I like to play fusion monsters.
Do you know something funny? One of my friends had that game. He once teamed up with Zane. Zane fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Zane sucks in that game. So how much would you give Joey versus Siegfried?
Well, I haven't seen it before this since its original airing, so I'm struggling to remember it.
I can't remember it at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could of all the villain duels, it's one of the ones you're never going to remember.
I haven't seen it.
Exactly.
Sound shit.
So put it this way, that should be how low it is. These two have seen it. They can't fucking remember anything that happens in that duel. I can't remember it. I had to re-watch it in prep for this because I thought I remember that one being really bad, but I can't remember why. Oh yeah, it's really fucking boring and it makes Joey look like a chump.
Yeah, so you know you got a problem when your main villain has the weakest deck out of any villain in the original series.
Also, but Kyber, he's hacked into your systems. He's guilty of like several offences. He shouldn't just be allowed to walk away.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot. He can't he's a hacking genius, but he can't patent anything.
Yeah.
Seriously, patent your holograph shit. Kyber doesn't have a claim to it at that point.
Yeah.
Kyber has to pay you if he wants to develop this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you're a moron. What did he sell to Pegasus? What did him and Leon sell to Pegasus in that epilogue credits? Because I have no fucking clue what that was about.
I'm not sure. But it's fair though, because through the chain of sequences, Kyber essentially owns Dungeons and Dice Monsters.
Touche, yeah.
Yeah, because Duke Devlin sold it to Pegasus.
And now, so technically Kyber does own Dice Monsters, yeah.
Kyber pretty much just owns everything
Yeah.
at this point.
He really is Elon Musk.
He's one of the richest people, but he still can't afford 3 copies of every good card in his deck.
Yeah, and yet for some reason he has a Blue Eyes White Dragon Jet, which seriously best thing he ever bought.
Which has also been turned into a card now. It's been released.
Also,
incredible.
Yeah, I've seen that. Actually,
along with Kyber Man.
Yeah, which is from GX.
No, the funniest thing he's done is when he did the contest for people to create their own cards and send them into space, saying, "If there are aliens out there, let's teach them how to duel."
Yeah, which is a plot point in GX.
GX is wild.
Is that what the Cosmic Horror cards were?
No, it's
No.
No, it's Neospatians.
Oh, right.
Which is also why you battle turned evil, because Jaden put her in the jet into space, and she came back pissed.
I love the fact that they could.
GX was wild, and I love it.
I love the fact that in Bonds Beyond Time they actually had a fusion between monsters from different time periods.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that card exist if they're from like years apart from each other?
Well, as we saw in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, new monsters are just willed into existence on a blank card.
Yeah.
I liked the joke though that they in one of I saw a sort of comedic review of Bonds Beyond Time and there was like 3 of them doing it and say, okay, who's going to be Jaden? Not it. Damn it.
Wait, that what? Never mind. I was going to ask if that was Suede.
No,
His thing.
No, unfortunately it wasn't Suede. I would have liked that. I would have liked to see Suede do a review on that. Love you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about your child. Loving the Puppet Mon videos.
I'm paying for those.
Hey.
I give him 20 quid a month for making those.
Yeah, which is why Cal's the Kyber of our group.
Yeah.
Screw the rules. I have green hair.
I'm the Joey. I think we can all admit that.
Yep.
I'll be the Taya. Or the Tristan.
Definitely the Tristan.
Yeah. My voice gives me super strength.
No, you're Mokuba.
Yeah, I'll be I'm fine with that.
Oh, also,
Big brother! Who's Kyber?
Cal.
Fuck.
Of course he's going to be.
Yeah.
Except
Big brother!
except I'm fucking leaving you on the island.
Totally understand.
The,
No, you're Kyber from the bridge. Let's talk about how you stole my company. And tricking at me, right, brother? Shut up, Mokuba. Mommy and Daddy are talking.
So let's go to our favourite duels, and I said the final duel was not allowed, which because I thought it was too obvious.
I didn't wouldn't have picked it anyway, honestly.
Update on the Bloomberg from what we said earlier. Amazon won't make a bid for EA according to CNBC sources.
Okay.
So for legal reasons, I want to put this stuff in because I don't want to be sued by Amazon for slander.
Don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, because as we all know, Jeff Bezos is a very big enjoyer of the Anime Amigos
Yeah.
podcast.
I'll explain later.
He's our only $1 million patron.
Look,
He's our only Patreon.
Look, I might be banned from Russia after last night's stream. I don't want to piss off anyone else.
Cal, again, no one watches our streams.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Calvin, there were like 3 people in our stream, including me and Reese. I think you're good.
If they do watch our streams, do remember to leave a thumbs up though.
Yeah.
While you're
Do you
there.
remember- do you remember-
Like, comment, and subscribe, Putin.
Yeah, share it. Share it to your friends.
Actually,
Don't forget to turn on notifications and buy our merch.
In
Is that
fact,
how
no,
I felt?
Putin, you're not fucking welcome. Fuck you.
Anyway,
Well, that told him.
Also, while we're on the subject of the matter, you look like a dried out house elf that's on cocaine still.
Incredible.
you look.
Anyway, best
You look like a
duels.
toad on ketamine. Oh wait, that's
You
not-
look like the answer to the question: how can a baked bean look depressed?
You look like the human version of Eeyore.
Shall we move on to our best before we
Yes.
get more banned from
Yeah,
Russia than we already are?
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, until there's a new story tomorrow. Say it needs to have been poisoned by radiation.
Another chuck. So yes, favourite
Yeah.
duels.
What did you go for, Reese?
So thematically, I went with Yugi versus Mind Control Joey, Battle City, episode 75-78. And then for real life realism, I went Yugi versus Weevil on the train
Ah,
from episode 160 to 162.
How are we standing up here?
Yep.
On the train.
Yeah.
They dueled on top of a moving
train.
train.
Yeah, right.
Doro! Monster
Cardo!
Cardo! Doro! Monster Cardo!
No,
Mine-
Yugi Yamate! Hanase!
My favourite.
That's the best sub bit.
My favourite though thing from the abridged version is where the train goes off the rails
Yes.
and it goes, there's no possible way we can survive this. How the fuck did we survive this? Elliot, what was your pick?
I have 3, but I'm going to go into detail with just one because I remember it the best. One, you got probably a bit controversial. Yugi and Kyber versus Darts. I actually really like that dude. I'm not gonna lie. As I said, I like Wicked Dragons a bit too much.
I think it has the same problem with the pace still, a bit too long.
Number 2, the other one, Joey versus Marek.
Yeah.
Fuck, you stole one of mine.
It's okay, that's not the one I'm going to detail with. The one I'm going to detail with is Yugi versus Joey in Duelist Kingdom.
Yeah, very nice.
That's a very good one. Your one is obviously Joey versus Marek now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Joey versus Marek, because I've rewatched it recently, but I'd just go for the classic Yugi versus Kyber, the first one.
Fine.
But the one that I was since I did have Joey versus Marek as a consideration, but at the last minute I changed my mind. I've gone with Yugi and Joey versus the Big Five in the virtual arc.
Heathen!
That one is that's proper good. That one.
Yeah. So that's the very first virtual arc, isn't it?
Yeah, the very
Yeah.
no. The
No.
one with Noah in it.
The one with Noah.
Yeah,
Because for some reason they decided to make a filler have a sequel that was also filler.
I think the only problem with the Noah arc is the timing of it. It just came in the middle of Battle City and interrupted an arc everyone was really enjoying.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
That's the
happened.
only real problem with that arc. Other than that, it actually dives into Kyber's backstory in a pretty good way.
Yeah.
But let's move on to your one, Reese. So thematically, you went for Yugi. It's interesting we went for 2 Yugi versus Joey ones here,
Yeah.
incidentally. So why that one in specifically?
Well, I showed out the whole things of Joey being mind controlled by Marek at the time. And so Yugi's not playing to win because either one of them, if they lose, they pretty much die due to getting dragged to the bottom of the ocean by an anchor.
Nice.
Yeah, as you do. So Yugi has to try and wake up Joey's dueling spirit by showing him the blue,
The red eyes black
red eyes
dragon.
iron.
Incredible.
Which he gave to Yuki at the beginning of the film.
Joey lost it to against a guy who
A rare
used
hunter.
Exodia and whose deck was fucking illegal.
Yeah.
And Yuki ended up ripping the shreds at the end because it was a because all the cards were marked.
It must have been
And
played
so-
in Diamond format.
And so Yuki beat him, got Joey's red eyes because obviously that was a rule in Battle City. You won the opponent's strongest card, and Joey just let him keep it.
Rarest.
Rarest card. Yeah.
Rarest. Yeah. So and there's the whole thing of them because it's also the first time little Yugi duels without a Tem as well. Cause,
really?
because he takes full control. Because originally it was the Pharaoh versus Joey, but then Yugi says, "No, he's my friend. I was the one who made the wish on the puzzle to have more friends. It should be me to duel him."
Also, spoiler alert: the Pharaoh's name is a Tem.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Yami originally.
How long did this come out? How long ago did this come out? It's fine to spoil
Yes,
this.
the Yami's 20 years old. It's okay.
It's fine to spoil Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I'm 12 years older than the anime.
Wait,
And then the rest, Cal. Don't forget.
yeah. The actual card game, what
No,
was that?
no,
90s?
No,
thought
actually,
it was
actually, you're 14 years older. It came out in like 2000.
I'm 32.
Yeah. So the official Konami Western release was in 2002.
Oh right, yeah, I see your point.
Anywho.
Anywho, so I really enjoyed that whole battle.
I really seriously consider it, but it's also the fact that it's actually kind of weird. Joey plays even more confidently when he's controlled by a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because he puts chance-dependent cards in his deck. It's his own fault.
Yeah, compared to his being controlled by Marek, he just uses pure burn cards.
Yeah.
I do like the fact they did the Taya threat by having her above a fucking steel crate.
No, a steel crate was above her. Why would she be above a steel
Oh,
crate?
She was also tied to a chair so she couldn't escape.
Yeah, what was she going? What were they expected to just drop her on the crate? Just
My mind glitched for a second, alright?
Well, it was like me saying Blue Eyes before. But the whole thing about that, Marek was also controlling her mind to keep her strapped there, and then one of his henchmen with a bomb detonator ready to just drop it on her.
Right. Is she that indestructible?
Yes.
No, they just got her out in time. Somehow by Kyber throwing a card at his head.
What is he, fucking Gambit?
Yes. Because the same thing happened in Duelist Kingdom when the guy was going to shoot him with a finger gun. In the original sub, he threw a card in between the hammer and the gun. So when the guy went to fire, he couldn't fire out. Which of course makes no sense in the dub, where it just goes into his fingers.
Yeah. Oh.
You'll never take me alive.
Such a good character.
But
I can just imagine a dub just. Why did he jump? We were gonna take him to Pegasus. Why did he fucking kill himself?
He wants to come to the island in the first place to rescue his brother. Why would he not just come with us?
Yeah.
Rather than jumping out of a window, covered in glass, down like a 20-foot drop.
It's a pity I wasn't allowed to pick the final duel. That would have been so perfect.
That was a self-imposed rule.
Yeah, I know, but I felt it was necessary. But let's go to instantly. I'd score the Joey 9 out of 10 for the Joey versus Yuki one. I do think it goes on a little too long that one.
I'd say it's a solid 7 or 8 out of 10.
I don't know. Sounds good though.
So we'll go to Joey versus Yugi and Duelist King. Oh, actually, while we're on the subject, before we go to that one, why the Weevil duel in terms of like?
Oh, so this is a fun fact. Weevil is the only one in this whole anime to use a meta-relevant deck in that duel with Insect Lock, because that was an actual strategy that was used in real life
Also,
and won tournaments.
I guess he got another Insect Queen, considering he's got that back in his deck.
Yep. So yeah, so
Lost it to Joey in Battle City.
A card that would mostly be useless to Joey in Battle City, seeing as he doesn't have any insect cards.
Yep.
An insect queen relies on insect synergy.
Yep. And the same thing happened with the legendary Fisherman, which was also a dead card in his deck.
The only useful card he got was fucking Jinzo.
And Jinzo's really good. It's banned in the tournaments, isn't it?
No, it's back now.
Oh, thank fuck for that. It's actually because I say that's not fucking broken.
We need more Jinzo support.
Which did happen.
Ah, cool. We need even more of it then.
We need to get
Actually, no, if there's any...
that's Reese's next cosplay for AnimeCon.
Just shave my head or wear a ball cap.
Actually, no, if there's any card I think needs more support, it's Crystal Beasts.
Which has happened, but they all suck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Give me Gate Guardian support and I might actually build a deck.
Which is a running meme because they've never been supported. Every other archetype has been supported.
Actually, in that case, what about Destiny Heroes? We got like extra heroes. We don't have any specific Destiny Hero stuff.
We do.
I never could figure out how to play those things.
So Destiny Heroes as a whole, the monsters suck until you get to the fusions, at which point the fusions are broken.
Yeah.
Because the most powerful card in the game at the minute is Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer.
Also, while we're on the subject, Pegasus sucked in GX.
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he has this weird thing that he can hear cards talking as well.
Yeah.
That's schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a holdover because he was the holder of the Millennium Eye.
Okay.
And all the Millennium items give people the ability to hear dual spirits.
Didn't he die in Duelist Kingdom? How's he back in GX?
So he dies in the manga, not in the anime.
Oh, even in the Japanese anime?
No, in Japanese one he still survives because... excuse me, I got a dead horse here.
So in the original manga, after he has that laser showdown with Bakura in his bedroom, Bakura kills him, rips out his eye, and leaves his corpse there.
The wrong eye, you idiot!
Meanwhile, in the anime, you just... Thank you.
Yep.
So, next, what's the... so let's go to Yugi versus Joey Duelist Kingdom, which... Yeah, it's a near 10 out of 10 for me.
I think that duel is just really good because that shows fully just how good Joey has gotten, not from going from struggling against Mai to pretty much being toe and toe with Yugi throughout like the entire thing. Like it was if Yugi didn't have that dark stage, he would have 100% won. I feel like
easily, which is why everyone calls Yugi a cheater for siding that card into his deck for that duel.
So,
which was allowed because Duelist Kingdom, you're allowed to use your sideboard at any time.
Oh, any time?
Yeah, but between matches.
Okay, right.
So Yugi didn't have Dark Sage in his main deck for the entire tournament until he fought Joey.
Yeah, because he was. Yeah, okay.
So dick move, Yugi.
It might be a dick move. It's a tournament though.
No, I feel like it's just dumb. I think it's just dumb. Duelist Kingdom logic, because I mean, Thousand Dragon is a fusion card. You don't just get Thousand Dragon by having Baby Dragon and then you succeed in Time Wizard's ability.
Oh, so that's a problem with all of Joey's fusion monsters, like the Flame Swordsman. He uses an effect that's a fusion. Yeah, so the whole problem with the early seasons, they treat fusion monsters as regular monsters in the main deck.
Yeah, I mean, hell, one of Panic's cards is a fusion monster. He just summons it.
But he still would have been allowed to have it as a deck master for his duel against Johnson.
Yeah.
And the subsequent one that we're going to talk about in my one, which is early. I think Flame Swordsman is a really good deck master ability.
I find it. The thing I find most funny about that arc is that Yuki's first deck master is Karibo, because Karibo just basically forces Yuki to use it. Yeah. Like he was going, "I'll go Dark Magician." No, you're not.
So how does Joey actually wait? So does Joey win? Sorry.
No, he loses.
He loses.
Okay. So
obviously, Yuki has to face Pegasus.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course.
It's the final of the Duelist Kingdom,
right,
but Yugi gives him the prize.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he pushed Yugi to the limits, basically, didn't he?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, as I said, start off from being a complete amateur struggling against Mai to pretty much be neck and neck with Yugi.
Does he ever play Red Eyes Black Dragon in that entire duel?
Yeah, he does. He plays Black Skull Dragon.
Yeah, he nicks Black Skull Dragon and fused them together to make Red Eyes Black Skull.
No, he's Nick Summon Skull.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because cool. we first saw it in the Labyrinth duel against Power and Docs.
Yeah, that's when they fused together Scum Skull and the Red Eyes Black Dragon.
It wasn't like 3,500 attack.
3,200.
Yeah.
Because I've played it in a couple of games I've done.
Yeah.
That's one of that one's really good as well. I mean, it had that brilliant song. No matter what.
That song's cheesy, but it's great.
Oh, it's so good.
That's all Yu-Gi-Oh is. Yu-Gi-Oh is just cheese.
Yeah,
that's why it's great.
It's a full 4 cheese pizza.
Quattro formaggi.
It's too much, but it's great.
Okay,
Reese, what would you score Yugi versus Joey Duelist Kingdom?
I would personally give that like an 8.
What's holding it back for you from those points?
Pure plot armor from Yugi just playing Dark Sage out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You can say that for literally all of Yugi's duels in that.
Yeah, but he's worse with that. Because it's a card that would only be useful in that one situation from a card he gave Joey before the tournament.
But I would
saying,
say...
Joey, use this card, you'll find it useful. Meanwhile, he's sleeving up the Dark Sage. Yeah, bitch!
I'm not
Wizards.
gonna say I'm not gonna go ahead and say Yuki gave Joey that because he thought, oh, we'll both face each other. Surely Yuki would have more use for that if it was in his deck.
Stupid fucking idiot's gonna lose to it. I can't wait to see the look on this cunt's face.
He's only paying for his sister's medical care.
No, I'm basically I'm going to go. I'm going to give him the money.
No, he gave him the money so that he could gloat afterwards. That's the reason. Oh, here, take it. You didn't win, but you have it. Come on, there you go.
You came second. That counts.
Oh, well done.
Oh, good for you, Joey.
Well done, big clap for the second place. To quote Rebecca, yeah, Joey came second, but no one cares about second place.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I actually genuinely think if I had written Battle Siege arc, I actually would have had it that, and we'll go into this for your one, I actually would have written it that Joey did beat Marek.
Well, in standard play, he would have.
Yeah.
Because he did declare the attack.
Yeah.
It's just because of anime rules that Joey dies before the attack connects.
Out, yeah.
Well, no, in the original sub, he actually dies.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But then he gets better.
He's only mostly dead.
Yeah,
open his mouth.
I got better.
It's that line from Princess Bride. He's only mostly dead.
Yeah.
Here, open his mouth.
There's a big difference between all dead and mostly dead.
So let's go to that match then, Ren. Joey versus Marek.
Do you want me to talk about Yugi versus Kyber or
No, Yugi versus Kyber. I think Yugi versus Kyber the first time is quite a weak one because it's it's too short.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Well, especially
Yeah.
because you only got 2,000 life points.
Yeah.
So it has to be short.
Yeah, I mean, I just love it for the fact it's just such a strong intro to the series.
It is a quite strong intro.
That's
And
what
it sets up one of the main conflicts that's going to resolve throughout the entire series.
Absolutely.
Even though, again, it is very rushed.
I'd say 7.
The first episode is a very rushed episode.
That would give me a 7 out of 10. I'd say for it.
Yeah, it's such a strong intro. They had to literally get Exodia out of the series afterwards.
What? Oh, by throwing it away.
Yeah, by throwing it away.
Fucking Weevil, what a cunt.
Yep.
The fact that he recurs as far as what episode did you say? 160?
No,
Yeah.
he goes up to the fucking championship arc.
Yeah.
Just go on, what?
No, it's worse than that because he appears in the epilogue.
Was he that likeable?
No.
No.
Then what?
No, but didn't he lose in like in one turn against Siegfried?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he?
Him and Rex.
Yeah, they both teamed up, and we still lost almost
Hence
instantly.
why in the bridge they have him be Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, fair play, yeah. Very much checks that.
Yeah, which is funny because his lore in the series of that he was the regional champion for Japan.
Yeah.
But no, he just sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't say much about Japan.
No, he's just a cheater now.
Yeah.
That's just what happened. He just started cheating.
But he's not cheating from the start.
That's all he's
He
doing.
hacked into the systems to look up the rules of Duels Kingdom before it was revealed to everyone.
Which, to be fair, is a smart thing to do.
Yeah. What, isn't that something all players should strive
Yeah.
towards? Knowing the rules.
Which is why he says in his duel against Yuki, saying, "Oh, I was the only one who looked up the rules before dueling."
As if no one thought to do that. Fucking. Well, actually, I didn't actually hack. I just looked on the website.
Yeah.
What the hell is a Google?
I mean, you need to remember, Joey went into Duel's Kingdom originally with a deck filled with only monsters.
No, it wasn't that. Joe went to the tournament without legally being entered because he was only able to enter because Yuki gave him a star chip.
Oh yes,
Because each one starts with 2.
That's right.
So you say, "Here, Joey, take this starship. Take this time wizard, by the way, while you're there."
Mr. Pegasus, no one interrupts me with when I'm on my red wine spritzer break.
Mr. Pegasus, did you interrupt me while I'm watching Tom and Jerry?
Incidentally, weird thing is that's a plot point. Actually, he's a Tom and Jerry fan.
No, he's a big cartoon fan. Hence the two
Yeah.
cards.
I do like that about Pegasus.
But the thing for that one, though, actually, he has a red wine spritzer addiction in the movie Pyramid of Light. He just has a line. There's no more white wine spritzers before bed when he wakes up from a dream.
Yeah.
And then the
no white wine spritzers before bread.
incidentally,
After bread, however.
Incidentally, Pyramid of Light is the worst movie in the series. It sucks so much.
Bonds Beyond Time.
No, Bonds Beyond Time is better, and it's canon.
Well, Bonds Beyond
Compared to
Time.
Pyramid Light.
Not
I will say,
canon.
No.
Pyramid Light's not canon.
No.
Because which is good because the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon is the most useless card ever to be
The
given.
Sphinxes were cool.
Yeah, but it was worse than that because in real life, when that film came out, they gave everyone who saw it a promo for Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. You couldn't legally play it because it required Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to be tributed. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon didn't come out for another 2 years.
Really?
Yes, you couldn't use the cards from the film in your deck. That's how badly Konami screwed
That's
up.
baffling. I didn't realise that it was.
And in
But how? Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon have been around since Duelist Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon's better. In fact, the best you could hope for, if you play Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, the most attack points it could have, the minimum attack points it could have would be
4200.
4,200. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is 4,500.
Yeah.
Why would you trade that? And it's got to sacrifice itself to destroy any card you want.
Yeah, and it's worse than that because you're better off sticking with 3 Blue Eyes because they've each got 3k.
Yeah, exactly.
So
No, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon Diffusion.
Yeah, better. You've sorted it.
Yeah, but also at that point in the anime, Diffusion wasn't a quick play, so you can play it after attacking.
Also, well,
Now you can.
Yeah.
There's that great line is, forget it, old man. No one can come forever defeat that hard. Well, no one except Kyber. Oh, did I say that out loud? There's a great, if you see Ilnej's review of the film, he does a great, what is it? Well, no one except Kyber just goes, I can't do the click thing, so... Thank you.
So yeah, I think Joey versus Marek. I mean, obviously you guys weigh in on this as well,
Yeah.
but it was one that really actually showed
How far he'd come.
and also the fact that he technically would have won, and that Marek was completely left floundering afterwards.
Marek's
Personally,
own arrogance leads to
Personally,
it.
I think that would have been my favourite. That is my favourite one. I just didn't really talk about it because it's been a while since I've seen
No,
it.
fair enough. Because I watched a few top tens in preparation for this, and that one was highlighted really, really highly. So I watched that.
It's also just the fact Joe was the only main character to tank an Egyptian god to the face. With Ra.
FaceTime.
I do
Granted, he died afterwards,
Yeah.
but for a short time he lived,
I like
and that's what counts.
I love the fact that he just the fear in Marek's eyes. Just if he attacks now, I lose the duel.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't think there's a bad duel in Battle City. I love them all.
Yeah.
They're all really solid.
Yeah, no, it was really hard to find one that I didn't like. I sort of consider Yuki versus the Rare Hunter because it's not that great of a duel.
Which one?
The one with the Exodia.
Okay.
But even that one has some merit.
No,
to it.
I still like that one.
I like the fact they also up the intensity of most of the villains, like the magician who.
Arcana.
Arcana.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved seeing
Okay.
evil dark magician.
Yeah, yeah. So for some reason he has a red version of Dark Magician.
Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, here's a question: why didn't Yugi take that? Yugi, outside of Slifer, never took any of their opponent's red cards. Why did he take that? Not the Dark Magician.
Yeah.
Could have added more to his Dark Magician go.
Yeah, especially because it still counts as Dark Magician.
Yeah.
So it benefits from all the support.
Hell, it's because of Arcane's Dark Magician was in his graveyard that Dark Magician go won him the duel.
Yeah.
We don't find out why Yugi and Atom have a connection to Dark Magician until the final season.
Yeah.
But it's really great when we find out. But
Well, we kind of get a hint. We kind of get a hint to it in Duelist Kingdom where Shanti is it?
Shadi.
Where Shadi goes through his mind.
There's also flashbacks to it in the Yuki versus Kyber fight in Battle City, right?
yeah, there's but they go into even more detail about why the Dark Magician is so important to him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Incidentally, all the build up to that match, and when we finally actually saw the real version that was on the hieroglyphs, it was fucking awful.
Yeah, honestly, the thing that shocked me most about that is about the Egyptian arc is that Kyber gets laid.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also
it gets worse. He gets laid by the human form of the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
It's
Kyber, fuck.
Incredibly based. Incredibly based.
Seriously, Blue Eyes White Dragon is actually the soul of of a homeless girl in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Which eventually becomes a card herself.
Yeah.
Made in eyes of blue.
So she's the only albino character in the series.
Interesting.
And I picked Yugi and Joey versus the Big Five.
Yes.
Why that one?
I just think it's a really thematically it's great. It shows how it's another one that shows how far Joey's come because the big Five's undoing is the fact they underestimate Joey. They put all the odds against them, but they think we got this one because Joey will hold down Yugi, and in the end, Joey's the reason Yugi wins.
Was someone? Well, someone didn't watch the Paradox Brothers duel.
Yeah, no, that one's great as well.
No, I meant they didn't.
Oh yes.
They didn't realise that in the end, I think Joey had more life points than Yuki did.
Yeah. Also, that one has my favourite thing with the copycat, and he just goes. I love Joey's shit-eating grin there.
Oh yeah.
But there's also the cards they use in that duel are great. Like the Deckmaster system is great. Joey actually makes a decent Deckmaster with Flame Swordsman. When he's the Deckmaster, his ability is if he has another warrior out, he can transfer some. He can decrease
his attack.
Flame Swordsman's attack to give it to the new warrior. So like he gets Rocket Warrior out, he decreases Flame Swordsman from 1800 to 800.
Isn't that what he did with the Dark Magician Knight?
Yeah, he did that as well with the Dark Magician Knight, which also leads to when they think they've beaten Joey because he throws himself Flame Swordsman in front of Dark Magician to save him. He activates a silver dollar trap card, which only protects weak monsters.
But Konami also referenced that with the Flame Swordsman support with the blue Flame Swordsman, which has that effect.
That was in Sea of Orichalcos, wasn't it? Blue Flame Swordsman.
They show it off in the anime in the Orichalcos arc.
And then for some reason they also made Flame Swordsman a Link monster recently.
Interesting. Did they do anything with the Deckmaster system?
No, annoying. Which is annoying because I really like the Deckmaster system.
And did something with Speed Duel and now Rush Duels.
Speed Duel is different, and that's actually quite popular now.
Is it?
Yeah, so they've just moved on to the GX format.
In all fairness, the abilities are quite cool.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I remember in the first one, Kyber used Lord of Dragons, which was so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
But what did he use in the match against Noah? It was something like it was because it was fucking useless Deckmaster he picked.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
And Yugi was stuck with it because he had to take over Kyber's position in the duel.
I know the one you mean. One you mean. Wasn't it the one where you could use that as 2 tributes for a light monster?
Yes.
Oh, Kaiser Seahorse.
Yeah, Kaiser Seahorse. That's
it. Yes. So I couldn't picture it, but I knew the name and effects.
But Yugi was stuck with it. He couldn't use it for other things. Meanwhile, Noah's got Shinato, which is a really good card.
Noah's entire deck was just filled with spirit monsters.
Yeah, which went back to his hand and.
Which did get released physically, and his ace monster was a ritual monster, and it sucks in real life.
Yeah, that's because when they left the field, you had no defense.
Exactly.
Just as a matter of interest, I used to have a promo of a card called Seiryu, which was like a pink dragon thing.
That's a spirit card.
No, it's not.
No, Noah uses it in.
But it's classified as a normal monster.
Was there any support for that?
Yes, they recently got a retrain in the Starry Night archetype.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I don't know anything what that means, but it sounds cool.
Well, it's a terrible archetype.
Okay.
But incidentally,
it's funny how I've said this before. It's funny how you so heavily keep up with Yugi with the card game, despite the fact you don't play it anymore.
I don't play it physically because I don't have two grand to drop on a deck.
Yeah. It's like
you saying I'm getting into Commander right now. Do you have any idea how expensive those decks can get?
Trust me, you guys were, especially with your max rarity.
Incidentally, you've now got me into the Digimon card game now. I am hooked on it.
It's so fun.
Oh, it's so good.
Played more of it?
I've not had a chance to play more of it. I'm putting it this way. I'm only really going to play it casually. I'm not going to play it competitively.
That's what
But that's the thing for me, though. I would say my enjoyment of Yu-Gi-Oh was more in the video games than it ever was the actual physical cards.
With me, it was always about the card games. When I started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, it was like the perfect time because everyone in my school played it. We literally had a club, I think every Wednesday, for playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
We had it banned in our school because
I remember that. It was like Pokemon cards. I remember that.
People were giving over their cards when they lost, which was obviously.
Oh no, we didn't. We had like a full club and everything.
It started for me with video games with, like I said, Forbidden Memories on the PS1, and then I had Worldwide Edition on the Game Boy Advance and Stairway to the Destined Duel on the Game Boy Advance. And I've been playing those recently, and they're really fun because they're basically time capsules of what Yu-Gi-Oh was like in 2003, 2004.
I think the only one I had was the 2008 5Ds one.
5Ds nuts.
Ren.
That was terrible.
Yes,
Please,
it was.
please
Yes,
leave.
yes.
I will continue to make that joke every time.
Please leave.
Ren.
Oh, which is funny as well because we have the best Yu-Gi-Oh game from 5Ds, Wheelie Breakers.
What?
Yeah, it's a terrible dual
Oh, I
based
know the
one.
one you mean.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that Wii racing game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
we
so
had
awful.
a 5D's racing game.
Wow.
It was like Mario Kart. Instead of picking up items, you pick up cards to use
Let's
from your deck.
That's kind of cool. I like that actually. That sounds fun.
I thought my wasn't very good.
Oh.
No,
let's
it was absolutely awful.
let's go to scores now. So how much would you score Yuki and Joey versus the Big Five?
I give that an 8.
Can't remember. I think I'd probably give it a 7.
Well, the thing I would have picked the final duel, but I imposed the rule the final duel was out.
Oh yeah, because
So why don't we talk about Final Duel anyway?
The final duel is so good because it's
Yugi versus Atem, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and it shows how far both have come. It's kind of the greatest hits of the entire series.
Yugi's able to kill 3 gods at once.
Oh, what?
Joey,
How did he do that?
he uses
Magnets.
He uses a sort of a turn effect mixed with a magnet-based trap card,
Yeah.
Okay.
which means that Slifer keeps bouncing his second mouth ability back.
Have the Magna Warriors got any more support?
Yes, with the electromagnet archetype.
Uh,
Yeah,
So-
which had a boss instead of Valkyrion, you had Berserkion. And then later on, they had a fusion of them.
Later on, is that the name of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Later on, the Magnet Warrior.
Actually, what about the Knights? King's Knight, Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight.
Oh yeah, there's got support.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's now Joker's Knight.
Yeah, I know those Joker.
As a whole range
Never
support.
saw it coming.
Exactly. But the whole
Take
gimmick,
it.
but the whole gimmick's to support Slifer. And it's actually a competent casual deck.
That's cool.
So let's go into
One more question. XYZs?
Yeah, there's got more support.
As in
They got ABC.
Yeah, they actually did.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
There you
No,
go.
no! Stop it now!
Okay. Sorry.
Stop it now! We're not having that.
Only a few.
They ran 5D's Wheelie Breakers.
Fucking hell.
The best title.
What a shit name.
So
It's 30 quid on Amazon. Order.
let's let's talk.
No, don't. Oh, you know what? Don't tempt me. Don't.
I do like the fact though the thematic of the final card is a golden box.
Yeah.
Oh, the gold sarcophagus,
Yeah, the gold sarcophagus.
which was also banned. That's gameplay.
Oh god.
It's so clustered.
It looks dreadful. It looks dreadful.
Basically, the card is that you put another card in the sarcophagus, and if your opponent plays that card, it's cancelled out.
Oh, okay.
So Atem's about to play a Monster Reborn to bring back Slifer the Sky Dragon, and
But
will
there's a
win.
Monster Reborn in
There's a Monster Reborn.
Ah.
And so he then just can directly attack him with Silent Magician that's reached a high enough level at that point.
Yeah, which is different from a real life card game because Gold Sark, as is what's called as, you banish a card from your deck for 2 turns. That 2 turns just gets added to your hands.
Ah,
So
okay.
any card gets added to
Yeah, it's a
anything you need.
tutor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zane uses that card.
Oh yeah.
Wonder why that got banned.
Yep.
I mean, the one I don't get for why it got banned, Premature Burial.
Oh, that got banned because you could bounce it to your hand, keep reusing it.
But it costs you life points to
Yeah,
use
so
it.
it's only 800 though.
Wait, it's an equip, isn't it? So
Yeah, so pay 800. Yeah, you reborn a monster from the grave. Attach the premature burial to it.
So if premature burial goes, then
Then-
the creature stays.
yeah. No, the
creature goes as well.
yeah,
The
the
creature
goes.
bounces back to your hand.
Oh, that's dumb. Oh, that's
Okay, now I can see why it
Oh,
got
I
banned.
didn't realize it did that.
Yeah, it was just able to get recycled constantly. So instead of like the 3 of Monster Reborns, you can just have as many premature burials as you want.
Incidentally, I think that's the subject kind of waned now.
Very much.
So
God, it was fun going back over Yugi.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really was,
Oh.
especially the original series.
I really loved watching some parts that I hadn't seen and just reliving how. I mean, at the time it was the coolest thing ever. It was so cool. Everyone watched it.
I've been rewatching it pretty much. Whenever I decide I want to play on my PS2,
Yeah.
I just or like on my GameCube, I just get a really nostalgic mood. Just like, I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh
It's
again.
great
Yeah.
fun. It's really good.
Incidentally, I think out of all the 4 kids shows that we look back on now, I think it's the one that's held up the most and had the least egregious changes.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, there's always everyone making fun of the finger guns
Yeah.
and that no one dies.
And the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, all that business. But
Teya's friendship speeches.
But there's other ones that that one they were limited by the
Japanese footage.
Something I actually found kind of surprising that I completely forgot about. Whenever they go into like flashbacks from previous episodes, they change the dialogue at times.
Do they?
Like they go back and they change the dialogue that was said in those scenes. You just think, why not just reuse it? Why do entirely new lines of dialogue?
You've actually cost yourself more money doing it. It's a bit. It's like when 4Kids paid for extra scenes to be added to Pokemon 4.
Why?
Seriously, it's so that people wouldn't miss the plot twist in the credits. In the original Japanese version, the plot twist is in the credits, and they worried people wouldn't stay around for the credits, so they paid for 3 extra scenes to be made, so that people definitely got the plot twist.
Weird.
Was that Pokemon Forever?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one shit?
Is that all with Celebi?
It's
Yeah.
it's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
With the whole henchman from Team Rocket, he uses a dark ball.
Yeah,
because he's evil.
And also references
Isn't that
levels.
what fucking Mewtwo uses?
No, because this is slightly different.
These you catch them and it levels them up to level 100.
Yeah.
But
Hack.
Are levels discussed in
No,
No,
it's the whole point of Suede's entire series before Pokemon Company got rid of it was that you weren't supposed to approach the anime like the games.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, hence why Pikachu isn't fucking god tier.
Yeah, which is contradicted by the early series of Pokemon, where they go to the Pokemon school and they do talk about levels.
Oh, right, okay.
But one of the things I find interesting though with that one is the fact that they paid loads of extra money for that, and that's one of the reasons why 4Kids went out of business. They overspent their money when they didn't need to.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, One Piece obviously is going. They could make a whole documentary about the bugger up they did there.
But goddamn that OP.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's in my head again.
Dreaming. Don't give it up.
No, taser. Oh, it's
Don't give it up. No, me.
Oh god, it's the living on a prayer of anime.
Except the difference is people are like living on a prayer.
Yeah.
But I don't.
No, actually, people are coming around to the One Piece OP.
It's fucking
Yeah. It's been bad for so long. Nostalgia's finally kicked in, and people are appreciating it now.
Incidentally, I do think there is something worse than the One Piece rap. The Digi rap.
Oh, from the film.
From the film.
Oh,
I genuinely, I want to find the person who did that, and I will beat them to death.
Like late 90s, early 2000s.
With a fist or wrench.
And anime creators had a very unhealthy
Both.
obsession with including raps in their things.
Yeah.
That and heavy metal tracks in Dragon Ball Z movies.
Or you had the grunge soundtrack in Street Fighter 2.
Really? Was it
Street Fighter 2 the anime, but yeah, remember Ken's driving along listening to Alice in Chains. And the thing, the sound mixing's not great, so it blasts really loud at that point. And so the Benedict Sage interviews, warn a guy when you're gonna blast them bones. And but it's even funnier. The final fight where they have that thing of Ryu jumping and hitting the truck that's being driven by Bison. The song you hear is, "Are you ready?" Yeah, we go with Korn as the closing credit song. And I'm someone who likes Korn.
Yeah.
I would recommend, if anyone is interested in replaying the Game Boy Advance games, they are really good fun.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance.
Or you always have Legacy of the Duelist. That's actually
Hell, I actually like the GX one on the PSP.
Yeah.
That one's quite.
Tag Force ones are great.
Yeah, the Tag Force ones are great.
I wish we had more of them.
Yeah, Tag Force that popular went all the way through to 5Ds.
The problem is now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably, in terms of video game form, going to be confined to gotcha games.
Which is the whole problem now with Master Duel.
Hashtag fuck Konami.
So what's the issue with Master Duel then? I thought
So Master Duel is you pay for packs
right.
with either gems you earn in game, but you get so few.
Yeah.
Or you just pay for gems.
Same as Arena.
Similar
Yeah.
problem.
So compared to like the older games where you'd have to buy anything separate, it was all in game.
Yeah.
Or in game packs.
Yeah, it's the same with Wizards model for Magic Arena. It's so grindy. It really takes away from the joy of the game.
Which is annoying.
Yeah, like there was one Magic the Gathering game I actually played a fair bit that they took down. I think Magic Duels.
Oh yeah, that was what.
That was what I really liked that.
So-
Because it had like a story mode. They just took it off Steam.
So before we go. This is a conversation for the post show. So
that doesn't exist.
We'll see.
Yet.
We'll see you in next month for our best of summer, and I think it's going to be an interesting one this time round.
Shall be.
Mostly because it's been
Well, and I'm just gonna be biased as fuck.
Oh yes, of course.
Futo PI.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I've been loving that.
Oh, it's so good.
It's great. The character's
So good.
It's really good.
It's
Holy hell, it's got me tempted to watch the
You've had
original.
Futo
Oh, you
PI.
should.
You've had Futo PI and Maiden Abyss in the same season. You are dead, I think.
I know. So good.
I haven't actually started on
And-
Maiden Abyss yet. I'm going to once I caught up with Devil as a Part-Timer, which, by the way, I'm loving.
Yeah, I actually must be honest. I like Devil as a Part-Time in season 2 more than season 1.
I'm really enjoying season 1. I think it's great.
But the thing is, I was so on season 1. I'm actually quite enjoying season 2.
But at the same time, I think it's because it's honestly kind of a fresh take on Isekai, seeing how what we've gotten so.
Yeah.
Also,
Like-
season 2 and the dub has one of the characters saying, "Jeez, what a Karen."
Oh, perfect.
It was in the Ferris wheel scene that.
I'm still on season 1. I'm like 2 episodes away from finishing it.
Ah.
It's so good. I really like it.
Yeah, Devil becomes a dad in season 2.
Yeah, I guess you can tell because it's a child.
Yeah, but the other thing is as well, the internet's going to hate me next month because I'm going to have something nice to say about Rent a Girlfriend season 2.
Oh, what a simp.
You're turning yourself into a pariah.
I haven't been watching it, and I don't plan to. I was not a big fan of season 1.
I've only seen the first couple of episodes.
I'm not seeing
Season it has a better OP.
Okay.
But let's move on. We'll see you with that one next time. Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Take
everyone.
care, y'all. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.